Today's Monday, September 10th. Market just opened. We got FRED gapping up, but the 200-day moving average is right here at 275.
VSTM, Sono.
Don't pay attention to those. We also got NLST. Futures were
VSTM.
up this morning.
PRQR.
Just very, very slow. And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to stocks like this moving. But what have I been saying? Higher flow penny stocks have been the trend. So 20 minutes, it downtrended, and then it reversed from 35 all the way back up to this resistance line. And it's hard to play it. I don't want to chase it when it's at the top.
DSKE.
This
DSKE.
red line
Eagle.
is the 200 day.
DSKE.
It's at 270, 275. That's going to act as a huge resistance wall. Even if it breaks above it, it's going to act as a magnet and pull it right back down to it. $27 million in float. And I've been saying this for the past 2 weeks. The current trend, people have been saying pot stocks, but I haven't been paying attention to pot stocks. The trend in penny stocks is a little higher float. Float above 20 million.
DSKE.
Under $5. That's been the current trend the past 2 weeks. And they're just slowly, they're gapping up, they're selling off, and then they're slowly grinding up. FRED, IGC, ATAI, GERN, just to name a few. Even CVM. You can see CVM right there. The float on CVM.
GTTS.
CVM's float's 12 million. But it's on the Amex. I don't really like playing stocks on the Amex. But Fred's touching 270 right now. This is where a lot of rookie traders buy.
Taka. DSKE. Taka.
Look at that. See? Came right up to the resistance. Now it's falling right back down. And it's selling hard. That's why you don't want to chase. A lot of rookie traders buy at the top. I told you that 200-day moving average is going to act as a huge resistance wall. And I'm not used to playing stocks that are higher float, so it's hard. It really is hard because they slowly grind like this all day. Slowly grinding up, pulling back a little bit, then slowly grinding up. I don't have the patience for that. Maybe I need to learn to have the patience for that, but I'm used to playing low float rippers. I did have a plan on playing GEMP, but I missed it. If I pull up the 3-minute, I plotted this out over the weekend. This was a head and shoulders. I drew a line here to connect the highs going down, and this simply broke out of that little trend resistance trend line, broke out of it, pulled back, bounced off that trend line, and it bounced off this $2 neckline. right here. And when it bounced off that $2 neckline, it ran up 40 cents. And I missed it. And I didn't want to get in over here and chase it at the top, because look what it did. It fell right back down. So it just goes to show you, when you spot a setup and it's breaking out, go with your gut. Go with your instinct. Because you're probably not the only one looking at that pattern. This is a clear head and shoulders with a neckline support at $2. $2 is holding at support. You know, these patterns don't work 100% of the time. A head and shoulders is a bearish pattern, but it held the neckline right here at $2 in a mental support. Bounced off it, broke out of the trend line here, came back down, tested it again, support still holding, off we go. Man, 2,000 shares, 1,000 shares of that's a 40-cent rip. That's $400, $800 right there within 10:09 to 10:40. So 30 minutes. We also had BLPH, but this thing, it's got almost 4 million in volume, and I don't want to buy this at the top at $1.30 for it to crash down and everybody dump it all the way back down to $1.90. That's a big loss, especially if you're holding, 2,000, 3,000 shares of it. If you don't see anything you like, just simply hold out. If you missed your play, that's alright. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm not going to feel bad or anything. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't see anything I liked. The overall market is up. See, the Nasdaq's just going sideways. But yeah, tomorrow's a new day. Always tell yourself that. Tomorrow's a new day. If you don't see anything that catches your eye, just simply wait and sit on your hands. The Nasdaq looks like it's going sideways, so it's consolidating, and even though it did gap up, it's going sideways. And the SPY gapped up, but mostly it's going sideways as well. Gaps up, sells off, up a little bit, back down. So it's kind of like declining sideways. And I don't want to force anything. I simply just want to wait for that momentum, wait for that one stock to go parabolic supernova to bring attention back into the penny stocks and take advantage of it. You're not going to trade every single day and make profit if you're trading penny stocks. You just have to wait for opportunities. That's the whole thing. Wait for opportunities, capitalize on them, rinse and repeat. Stick to your niche, stick to your setups, stick to the setups you know, stick to the patterns you know. We're heading into lunch hours. It's going on 11 o'clock. The only thing up I see that has volume is Fred with 18 million in volume, but it's right at a resistance wall, and BLPH. But BLPH is just a very, very slow mover. BLPH has a float of 25 million going from 92 cents up to $1.25. It has room to go up to the 50-day at $1.75. But like I said, we're about to be heading into lunch hours. Other than that, nothing else. I don't really see anything going on. Volume leaders is Fred, MNKD. MNKD, just a slow mover. The 200-day is at 216. Gaps up to $1.80, runs up to $2. Now touching 205. Has a little bit of momentum. No news or anything. And the only thing with news today that had my attention was Fred, which we were just keeping an eye on, and TTNP. But TTNP, same story as Fred. It's opening right at the 50-day. See right here, it gaps up with news right at the 50-day, this blue line, and it sells off all day. What did it have news of? It had news of, it's a pharmaceutical. It surged 36%. Pre-Bell gets 6.7 million NIDA grant for opiate addiction treatment. And look at it. No momentum, no volume, just gaps up and falls right back down. You got Fred, and then you got HMNY, but HMNY is a piece of crap. This has been the volume leader for the past 3 weeks. 3 weeks a month, 40 million in volume. I don't know. People are just playing tenths of a penny, and it makes no sense. CVSI, OTC, going from $3 up to $3.87 today. That's a good move on this. Wow. CVSI has been a very good play the past few months. Look at that. Going from 22 cents, ramping all the way up to 264, pulling back to the 50-day, and then just slowly grinding up to a high of $9. And then it's falling back down to this 200-day here. Wow, what a wicked move. $3 to $3.85. Playing OTCs though, it's a whole different world. OTCs they're hard to play. I just wanted to start recording the action here. On NLST. 60s is going to be a little hard for it. Oh yeah. 64 cents.
FRAC, 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 FRAC.
Just another play. I missed my opportunity. I was about ready to get in on this at the break of 50 cents, and I had to start getting ready for work, and I walk away and come back, and it's up to 54 cents, and it ran up to 60.
QTNT.
Look at the 1 minute. Today, it gapped up, and then it sold off, and then it just hung in this area of 40 cents. Now look at it, everybody's dumping it. Hung in this area of 40 cents. 40 cents up to 42 cents and a high of 44 cents. And then going into lunch hours, it starts to perk up and start grinding up. Crosses over the VWAP. Grinds up and up to 47. Pulls back, pretty much basically kissing the VWAP. And grinding up and grinding up. And just slowly started getting momentum as we started heading into power hours. And then we cross over that mental it hangs here at 50 cents. That mental resistance. And then it finally crossed over and didn't even look back. Beautiful. Beautiful 10-cent move right there. And then if you go to the 3-minute, each 3-minute chart, this thing went up straight for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 minutes. Every 3-minute candle made a new high up until this one. And if you looked at chart history on this, you could clearly see the resistance. There was a gap back in November of 2017 when it had a gap down from 64 cents to 36 cents. So we're going to have a run into a resistance here at 60 cents, but this gap is at 64.75. So that's going to act as a tough resistance. And people got in on this, rode it all the way up, and now everybody's just going to dump it. This was Friday's play. It gapped up, and then it just spiked a little bit, sold off hard, and then just slowly died off. And then Monday, gaps up again with news. Got caught in this area, pretty much consolidating. It is a higher float stock at 90 million. So consolidating pretty much
HYGS, HYGS, HYGS.
There's a word for it. What do they say?
WBAI.
It's just getting buying and buying and buying. Accumulating. That's what it is. Accumulating buying. And starts to move up, gets momentum, and breaks out. And it just goes to show you, you know, if a stock has a higher flow, if it gets momentum, it can get going. Then if you look at the 5-minute, each 5-minute candle starting here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes.
WBAI, WBAI.
And then this is the 15-minute chart. Same thing.
CTSO, CTSO.
Getting a good bounce right here. I'll bring back up the level 2, so you got keep an eye on the level 2 and the candle here, the chart. It's mail day here. Got a package in. Got a new book. Technical Analysis using multiple time frames.
Seep,
By Brian Shannon. This is a perfect play for, given the example that you gotta have patience and waiting for these plays. Not having 20 stocks on your watch list and only having a few. I woke up this morning, I had 2 stocks heading into this week on my watch list doing research over the weekend. I looked at all the press releases. I picked out the ones that I thought was interesting. which made my stock list to 5 stocks. And then just keeping an eye on them all day. And then waiting and having patience. Looking at the chart history, looking at multiple time frames, going back, looking at resistance levels, volume levels on the daily candles. Wow. I'm excited to start reading this book, but first I have to finish this book, A Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. It's been taking me forever to finish that book, and it's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. It's just taken me a while to get to it. I've been so busy, but I only have like 60 pages of that book left, and then I recently just got 2 new books in. The Candlestick Bible, and Technical Analysis using multiple time frames. The Technical Analysis, multiple time frames. This was like an $80, $90 book. But I've heard a lot of good things about this book.
Exxon, Exxon. Owie, owie. Owie. HYGS. HYGS, HYGS. EEX, EEX, EEX. EEX, EEX, EEX. LNTH, LNTH. CDXS, CDXS. CDXS. CDXS, CDXS. Exxon. LNTH, LNTH. GTES, GTES, GTES. EMKR, EMKR. EEX, 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 EEX.
I'm just keeping this up and going for right now for you guys. But I'm going to have to cut it here in a second because I got to go to work.
WBAI. EEX, 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 MAC, MAC. LGCY, LGCY. EEX.
You see how that 60-cent area is acting as resistance, and I hope when you're watching the 60-cent area, you're keeping an eye on the level too. And what you see are a lot of big sellers at 60 cents. That's acting as a big wall.
EEX, EEX, EEX.
Alright, I gotta cut it off right now. I gotta head into work. So I thought I'd just record a little of this to show you guys a little market action and showing you that patience pays. You can clearly see on this right here, it was holding support, it gapped up, it opened here at 44, dropped down to here, and it kept bouncing off this 40 cent, 39 cent area with the resistance up here. It came up here a few times. And when these resistance, you got to look at them as they're not walls, they're not concrete walls, they're going to be elastic. So even if it breaks through it a little bit, you got to think it's like rubber. It's not metal. So it's going to flex a little bit and come back down to it. And then it comes back down and then it blows up through it and keeps going. I wish I could hang around and still keep an eye on this as we're about to be heading into the last trading hour of the day. But gotta go to the job that pays the bills at the moment. Having patience, just sitting on your hands, waiting through this consolidation period. And then right when it gets up into this area, breaks out. Most of the time when it breaks out, it's always going to pull back down. Most of the time. Pull back and retest the old resistance and hold as support. And that's a good dip buying pullback to get in and ride it up for a nice ride. It's breaking 60 cents right now. Here it goes. I gotta watch this part. So 64, 65 cents. That's going to be a real tough next resistance on this because that's where on the chart it had a gap down. Real quick. This is the previous chart. Way back right here. Back in November of 2017. See where that's at? And you could see up on the top left, that's at like 68 cents. Or no, let me just make it big real quick. The price is right here, and if you follow it all the way back to right here, that's the gap down. That's going to act as resistance. That's 65 cents. Now watch this. A lot of traders are going to see that, and they're going to sell. They're going to run right into a wall. It could break it, but then it'll pull it right back down. Very important to look at past chart history. That's why Tim Sykes says he's a glorified history buff, because he's always looking back on all these stocks' history and seeing how they performed, the volatility they had, did they spike big, any upper resistance this is heading into. And look at it. It came right up to 60, a high of 63 cents, and is pulling right back down below 60 cents. Look at that, big seller right there, 150,000 shares, 20,000 shares. That's a huge wall. That's going to scare away a lot of buyers. But anything can happen with this. This thing could get short squeezed. Anything can happen in the market. That's what it's. You can predict what's going to happen, but anything can happen. Man, I wish I could stay around and watch this the rest of the day. I was supposed to leave 10 minutes ago. And then we also had Fred. Fred was a little slow grinder today. This is where we were watching it this morning when it came up to 72 cents. About 73 cents. And it just slowly grinded all day, all the way up to a high of 87 cents. 287. So from the bottom here at 233 to 287, that's a 50-cent grind right there. And once again, NLST is a higher float penny stock. What did I say? Right now, the current trend, the stocks that are breaking out are little higher float penny stocks. We're not seeing low float penny stocks break out. We're seeing higher float penny stocks break out. NLST's float, I think, is 100 million. FRED's float is like 30 million, I believe. And then we also got CVM. CVM today. NLST's back above 60 cents. I love this platform just for its charting, how easy it is to zoom out and look like that. And I can easily see support areas and resistance areas, and I can go back right here, switch to multiple time frames real quickly. I really like this Street Smart Edge platform for that. And it's a lot more cleaner than the charts are just a lot more cleaner than what Thinkorswim were. When you would zoom out with Thinkorswim, the candlesticks would get blurry. And it just looked like a blob on there. But I'm going to have to end this, guys. I got to get going. Just thought I'd do a little market action. I'll put this all together as the morning action and the afternoon action for you guys as one video. So this is all pre-recorded. And I'll have to put it all together. We'll see how I do. But alright, guys, I didn't make any trades today. I didn't really see anything that I liked. I missed a couple opportunities. I missed an opportunity on GEMP that I already talked about earlier in this video. And I missed my opportunity on NLST. I was going to get in on it at the break of 50 cents, but I had to start getting ready for work. And by the time I came back, it was already up to 57 cents, and I don't want to chase it. Look at it, it's touching 52. But I gotta get going. Alright, guys, stay patient, be disciplined, wait for your setup, and study, study, study. Alright, guys, later.